Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your mindset, your life, your business, your body, your health from where you are right now to being unstoppable. And today's an exciting day. It's Sunday here in Melbourne, Australia, and I want you to celebrate with me a slight win that we've had. Because if we think about what's happened over the last 6 months and the hardship and the challenges that we've been living through, and my home state here living in the toughest lockdown, COVID restrictions of anywhere else in the world, even in our own country. Today we had a slight win, and that is that our Premier announced that we're going to wind back some of the restrictions, so just slightly, but what it enables is for me to be able to work with some people outdoors. So up to 2 people at a time. And that means that there's people that I couldn't work with before because they didn't want to use one of the other services that will now automatically just come back into the fold. And this is why preparing for when these things happened months ago was really, really important. Because I've put in all the planning, I put in all the marketing. Even this morning, I knew that there was going to be an announcement today, and I prepared a couple of marketing pieces so that I could just flick them out straight away. I did a Facebook Live. I sent out a number of different text messages and voice recordings and no emails yet, but communications to people, just letting everybody know that we are open again outdoors, and that will have an impact on my group sessions. It will also have an impact on some of the one-on-one and couple sessions that I do as well. So it's really great news. Now, we still can't travel more than 5 kilometres away. We can still only go shopping once a day and do those things, but we're allowed to take more than one person shopping now. We could only go out by ourselves before, so we can take someone else with us now. So that means I could go with one of the kids or both of the kids if necessary. But they're still advising not to do that. We can still meet. We can now meet with another household up to 5 people in the house, excluding the kids. So there's some freedoms that are starting to open up. They think that we're about a week ahead of schedule, which means that we were on track for the 26th of October to be able to open up fitness facilities and everything again. But that is now forecast to be the 19th of October, so 1 week earlier. So that's also some good news, but it is subject to change, because my feeling is that once they start to open up again, and probably once they get to that stage, that we might see a dramatic increase in the number of cases, and they might force some restrictions again, which happened about 2.5 weeks after we were open last time. But let's not get bogged down in that and celebrate the fact that, let's celebrate this win, because it's spring is here in Melbourne, Australia. The weather's warming up, daylight savings is coming, the flower buds are sprouting, and it's just one of those times of the year where you feel fantastic. You're launching into this warmer weather. People naturally want to get in better shape over the spring, summer period of time, heading into Christmas. And people will be getting really excited about the fact that we could be open for Christmas. We've been shut down for Easter. We've been shut down for so many different events that this Christmas will be huge if we're open completely. So I think that it's just so exciting. And it's 4 p.m. on a Sunday right now, and I have been inundated with responses to my messages that I've been sending out, people that want to jump back on training. I've had phone calls. I've got another one to make just after recording this, of people that want to get back into training or get into training for the first time. People that I haven't seen before as like one-on-one type people, but they just feel that they just need that attention now. They really want that attention. So it's really exciting. And the fact that I've been planning for this so long, and knowing that this is going to come to an end, that I'm putting more and more pressure on myself to make sure that I get those things done that I wanted to get done during COVID, because once I open up here in the studio in another, say, 4 weeks or 3 weeks time, I'm going to be flat out. I'm going to be so busy that I'm barely going to have time to scratch myself. So it's exciting. It means that I'm about to get even busier than I have been before. And you've got to make hay when the sun shines, as they say. So I think what will happen is that it will be unprecedented. If things go well and they manage COVID well and we remain open, I think that this last period of the year, November, December, will be the busiest time that I've ever had in my life, and probably the most profitable as well. But having said that, let's wait and see what happens with this disease. Because I was listening today, an Australian doctor was saying that the vaccine for the virus will definitely be still 18 months away. And what's interesting is that they've been talking 18 months since the virus started 6 months ago. So that's interesting. Even though they're getting close, they reckon it'll be 18 months before they get to mass producing this thing. But let's celebrate the success with me. Celebrate with me, because we haven't had a lot of great news in our community lately, and I think this is just making everybody smile just that little bit more. You can just feel the excitement building through all the messages that I'm getting. It just reminded me of the fact that we have to make the best use of opportunities when they present themselves. Now, I recorded a podcast maybe a week or so ago talking about, or maybe it was in the last week, talking about the opportunities of COVID. And if you had that opportunity to either go through COVID or not go through COVID, would you? And I said that if I had the choice, knowing what I know now, I would still go through COVID because of the opportunities that it's provided me and the growth and the learning that I've had in myself. And right from the very beginning, I knew that there was a great opportunity here to use this time super productively. I'm always thinking that I'm working in the business too much, and this would give me time to work on the business as much as, not as much as I wanted to, because I still had other responsibilities, but being able to, for the first time in the 12 years of running the business, have that opportunity to work on the business more than any other time that I've had. And I feel that I harness that really, really well. And yes, I'm sure there's always an opportunity to improve along the way, but I'm really satisfied with the work that I have done. Over the weekend, I've completed another few tasks off my 90-day COVID strategy checklist, and we still got three weeks to go, but I know that I'm going to already, like within an hour, I had 2, 4, 6, potentially 8 new sessions from people within the first hour of me putting up that announcement. So I know that once we open up in the studio, it's going to get even more busy, and I could be having 20 to 30 more sessions a week than I do right now. And that's a great thing. But that means that I have to absolutely make sure that I maximize these next 3 weeks to continue the momentum that I've got and keep pushing forward. So there's a couple of things that I'm still not satisfied with that I have been approaching on my 90 days strategy, and there's some new opportunities that I haven't taken at all yet, because I didn't want to start a brand new thing yet until I finished absolutely all these other things. So I'm getting closer to those, but I'm not there yet. So it's an exciting day. I'm looking forward to what's about to happen. Things I think are about to explode in a good way. And when you do plan and take those opportunities when they present themselves, when these moments come, it's easy to just flick the switch and say, bang, let's go. Because I put so much work into it. I've done my COVID. Actually, last weekend, I completed my full COVID safe plan, and that's like it's a 7-page document looking at all the risks, and I have to document what I'm doing to mitigate every single risk. And I completed that, making sure that I've got an up-to-date COVID register, so that if something does happen amongst my clients, then or myself, then I can easily hand that list over to the Department of Health and Human Services here in Australia, in Victoria, and they can then do all the contact tracing, making sure that I've got all those details and just all the systems in place. And it just makes it really simple. And because I've already got the sanitation and all that type of stuff in place from last time, I'm just ready to go. Just ready to go. But that wouldn't have been the case if I hadn't put the work in, if I hadn't done the planning. I know this, that, just taking a mouthful of water, there will be so many fitness facilities out there and so many people that just work as sole traders or by themselves that will have not done the work that I have. And if something happens, they're really quite stuck. But I run a very professional operation, and you've just got to be prepared. You've just got to. So I'm excited about the fact that the work that I've put in is now about to pay off. And if you were sitting back and waiting for things to be open before you started to think about many of the things that you needed to have in place, then you're already too late. You're just too late. And we're about to have an amazing opportunity in my industry, and I'm ready there to grab it with both hands and say, yep, let's go. Let's see how we can help you. So it's an exciting time. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you stay safe. Share with me in the celebration of us finally being able to slightly open up again. I hope it's good in your country. I heard this morning that there's like 14,000 cases, I think, diagnosed overnight in France. I don't know what the US numbers are like. I haven't looked them up, and in Australia they're not reporting them like they were before. So I guess those numbers are maybe starting to fall. I don't know, but I know it's climbing in Europe and India and places like that. Don't hear much about Africa, but I know it's different in different parts of the world. We had, I think, 14 cases today, and when you think 14 against 14,000, it's hard to believe that France is way more open than we are. It should, in theory, be the other way around, shouldn't it? But it's not. So keep staying safe, and let's just keep hoping a vaccine comes and we can start to get back to a sense of normality. But one of the interesting things to note is when you have been locked down for as long as we are, even just being able to get back and do what we're going to be able to do from tomorrow, and then when they release the 5 kilometre rule and you can travel more than that in another 3 weeks' time, those simple little things that we take for granted, that you're going to be like, wow, this feels like an early Christmas present, being able to just have our freedom back, because we don't have that freedom. We can't just go anywhere. And it seems funny that we live in this world when we've been so used to being like, if I wanted to drive anywhere, I could just get in the car and I could drive to far north Queensland if I wanted to, but not in this environment. I'm not allowed to drive more than 5 kilometres. So we do take many of the things in our life for granted, and hopefully this makes us all more grateful. I know I will certainly be more grateful to get back to those things. So stay safe wherever you are, and celebrate with me. See you tomorrow.